Well, hey there everybody, Aaron here. Welcome to another episode of Gideon's Tactical. Today we're going to be doing a field test on the Tops Knives Wolf Pup. This is a mini little fixed blade that Tops Knives produces. I actually got this with my Wolf Packs 2 kit, and I wanted to do a separate video just on the knife itself before we release the video of the entire kit, because you can purchase this separately. So today we're going to get out there and we're going to use and abuse this little guy, see how it performs, and see whether or not this might be a great neck knife for you, or there might be some better options out there on the market, particularly in ergonomics. So we're going to get out there, field test it. I'll give you a couple basic specs right away, and then we'll begin to use it, and at the end of the video I'll let you know my overall opinion on whether or not this is a great neck knife or there might be some other options out there. You'll have to stay tuned and watch the whole review to find out. So let's get out there, look at the specs, and then use this knife. Alright guys, I want to give you the basic specs here real quick on the Wolf Pup. What you have is a full tang knife, really nice there, 1/8 of an inch thick all the way through, and it weighs in at 3.1 ounces, and the length from tip to the rear is going to be 5.25 inches with an actual cutting edge of 2.5 inches, high saber grind, and it has that black traction coating, micarta handle scales, and it also has a Kydex sheath. So a lot of little options there for you. Definitely, you know, that kind of mini small neck knife design. And as we're going through this review, you're going to see as I give this rating, when we talk about quality, the quality rating I'm going to give this thing is a 5 out of 5. The finish is great, the edge is great, the handle scales line up perfectly, there's attention to detail. So when it comes to quality that you're going to see throughout this video, I'm going to give the Wolf Pup right out of the gate a 5 out of 5 for its quality and what you're purchasing. You're going to definitely get your money's worth when it comes to the Wolf Pup, and a quality rating here on this knife of 5 out of 5. So with that being said, let's talk about this blade and see how it performs. Alright guys, let's go ahead and talk here about the blade itself. That little 2.5 inch blade has performed really well for me. I was really happy with its overall performance. As you can see when we zoom up on it, I mean, it is all belly, nothing but belly. So I mean, it is designed to slice. And when I first put it up against some fruit's a great way to test out, you know, how the edge performs and stuff. The factory edge was fantastic. I put it up against a peach for a breakfast that I was doing, and it just went through the peach like butter. Better than any of the other neck knives we have reviewed here on the channel, because it's one of the thinner neck knives. It has that 1/8 of an inch versus 5/32 like an Essie Azula or a Top Shango. You know, a lot of those other neck knives are 5/32. This one is an 1/8 of an inch thick. Then with that high saber grind and great edge that Tops puts on the Wolf Pup, I mean, it was awesome at going through food prep. You know, it's going to be a great little knife for you. Obviously, it's not big, so it won't span huge amounts of food, but you know, that type of stuff, game processing, is going to go through meat really well, and with that belly, it'll just slice right through any sort of, you know, fruit, meat, vegetables, all that type of stuff, no problem. Then after that, we put it up against a lot of different wood processing tasks, you know, from notch making. We did notch making, and the edge was able to bite in really well to the wood. You know, if you're having to make a notch for a tent peg that maybe broke, you're making a figure 4 trap, you're doing, you know, a notch for a snare wire, you're doing for a trap, something like that. It did really well. And then just normal, you know, slicing, making a spear maybe, or, you know, just making the sharp end of that peg, whatever it may be, it was able to do that very well. Just went right through the wood, no complaints at all. And then finally, feather stick making, it was able to do really well. So regardless if you are buying this with the piggyback on the Wolf Packs 2 kit that we'll talk about later in another video, you know, or you are just buying this to be a backup to a big wilderness blade, another hatchet or axe, whatever, it's going to be able to do those basic bushcraft tasks very well. Feather stick making for a fire, food prep, all that type of stuff, as well as nylon rope cutting, was able to go through it no problem. You know, you're easily going to be able to cut your paracord around your campsite, you know, or other nylon material very easily with its huge amount of belly. Again, that sweep up just does so much for you with that blade geometry and that high saber grind, and the thin blade just makes it a phenomenal cutter with everything you put at it, basically. If you're carrying this out for the day, you're going to be able to handle anything that comes your way when it comes to cutting, slicing, bushcraft tasks. No problem whatsoever with the Wolf Pup, and I was overall very impressed with its edge and blade performance over here through all the tasks that we threw at it and that we put it through. The Wolf Pup performed really well. One of the great things with this Wolf Pup is the really deep finger groove that they give you, as well as that little hill for jimping for a stabbing task. This thing is fantastic. Really good and locked in. I'm not worried about, I'm doing it even barehanded. I'm not worried about sliding down, hurting myself. You know, I am really locked into place. I got a really good grip on this knife, and the tip is really well designed for that too, with that unsharpened swedge just a little bit up top with that perfect kind of arrow tip, spear tip design there. I mean, that is a fantastic knife. So if you are looking for a little self-defense, you know, kind of, it looks like a punch knife almost, the blade itself, but to have that same really nice, you know, handle compared to a punch knife, this is absolutely it. If you're looking for a little self-defense tool, the Wolf Pup could definitely get that job done really, really well. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about the carry options here on the Wolf Pup. Remember, I got it piggybacked onto the Wolf Packs kit that we'll be reviewing later in the week, so stay tuned for that. But I'm just talking about in this particular review just the Wolf Pup itself. So if you were just to purchase it on its own, you know, without the Packs kit, Wolf Packs 2 kit. So what you'd be getting if you just purchased the knife by itself is the same Kydex sheath that you see here in the video. We've got a really nice thumb ramp. You can easily pull off the knife, use it, click it back into place, really nice and secure. Got lashing points so you could do paracord and carry it as a neck knife because it's pretty nice and thin, slim there, so you could absolutely carry it as a neck knife if you so desired. As well as it comes with a steel belt clip, very similar to the 360-degree rotatable, except that it just attaches with screws. So you just screw it on in different directions and then put it on your belt as well. So that's a really nice carry option that they give you compared to a lot of other neck knives that do not come with a belt clip. I like that if you just purchase the Wolf Pup on its own, it will come with a belt clip that you can attach all sorts of different ways and carry on your belt. So I'm going to give it a rating of 5 out of 5. Zero complaints. You get Kydex, you get a belt clip, lots of different carry options. You can still carry it as a neck knife if you so desire. So the Wolf Pup, if you purchase it on its own, is going to have a 5 out of 5 carry system rating here at Gideon's Tactical, and definitely worth it if you're looking for a good carry system. The Wolf Pup's got it with 5 out of 5. Alright guys, let's go ahead and talk about the ergonomics here on the Wolf Pup and give you my rating for the ergonomics. Now, I really like the fact that they give you the micarta handle scales. That's really nice. I like that a lot. And it has a really wide handle, so it will fill out your hands really well. Now, I wear large size gloves, and you can see there, I can basically get 3 fingers, similar to the MSK 2.5. I can get 3 fingers on there, and then my pinky can kind of sit halfway. It has a lanyard hole, so you're very easily able to, you know, get a good grip on it like that if you need to, and you can make a really fat lanyard and kind of fill out your hand more if you have bigger than large size hands. I wear large size gloves again. So the handle width is actually what really helps it out a lot from the, you know, back to front. That really fills out your hand, and is definitely a lot wider than, say, a knife like the SE Azula back there. You can see a lot thicker, and it's going to fill out your hand a lot more than, say, a knife like that. The problem for me with the ergonomics, because that's all fine, I have no problem with that at all for my size hands, is this hump. And I talked about this a little bit in the teaser video of the Wolf Packs kit, is that I don't see a need for this hump right here with this set of jimping, and in fact it gets right in the way, because that is naturally where I want to put my thumb if I'm going to be doing particularly, you know, like finer detailed, you know, push cuts to make a notch in particular. If I'm making notching, it kind of becomes a pain in the butt, because that's right where my thumb wants to rest, is right there. So I kind of have to scoot up and then do that, and then, you know, it's hard, and it's just not comfortable, particularly for notching. And a normal hammer grip like this, you're not going to notice any sort of difference. You know, so if you are just doing feather stick making and not a lot of detailed bushcraft, it's going to be fine. You know, doing the stuff like you saw earlier, you know, cutting through rope, even doing EDC cardboard cutting, you know, stabbing, you know, all those type of things, it's going to be fine. But when it comes to the finer bushcraft tasks, that hump just really starts to get in the way, and I don't think it's needed. So that really hinders it from me from giving it maybe a 4 out of 5 to a 3 out of 5. That's my rating, because I would give the SE Azula without that hump, very similar in size, weight, everything that we kind of been comparing today. You know, you could maybe even take like the Tops Shango, the Tops Taibo, you know, some of those other knives, and this I would give it a 4 out of 5 ergonomic rating. This one I'm going to have to give a 3 out of 5, because that hump really gets in the way when you're doing your finer stuff. Again, hammer grip, you're not going to notice it, stabbing, all that type of stuff, normal cutting tasks, but when you're doing the finer bushcraft, you know, notch making in particular, it really started to hinder the ergonomics. So 3 out of 5 on the ergonomics here on the Wolf Pup. Alright guys, I want to talk about the value of the Wolf Pup here real quick in my rating that I'm going to give it on the value. I have here the SE Azula, one of the most well-known neck knives around, and I looked today, the day that I filmed this, on Amazon for both of these items. And for the SE Azula, the original, with aftermarket G10 handle scales that SE produces, so you have to buy them separately. You're going to get this with just the molded plastic sheath. You're going to pay 60 bucks for that. And I looked on Amazon, it was $58 for the Wolf Pup. You're going to be getting a full tang knife, just like the SE. You're going to be getting micarta handle scales, very similar to the G10. And you'll also be getting the molded plastic, or excuse me, the molded Kydex sheath, and it will also have the belt clip that is multi-adjustable that we kind of talked about just a moment ago, that will allow you to attach it to the belt. So I'm going to give this Wolf Pup, when it comes to value, a 5 out of 5, because it is absolutely on par with an SE Azula if you get handle scales for it. And in fact, I would prefer, for the quality rating, I would prefer the Kydex that you get with the Wolf Pup over the molded plastic that you have to get with the SE, and there's no way to attach it. I just had to do some paracord. You have to spend even more money to get the survival kit with the belt clip for the SE Azula, whereas the Wolf Pup will come with a steel belt clip that is multi-directional and multi-attachment. So the value on the Wolf Pup is 5 out of 5, absolutely worth the money compared to other knives in this price point. Alright guys, let's go ahead and finish up this video with my likability rating, and particularly compared to other neck knives that we reviewed here on the channel. I have a few neck knives in front of us, as well as the Tops Dart, to kind of give you a little philosophy and how I'm rating my likability. Because I'm going to give a likability to the Wolf Pup a rating of 3 out of 5. There's nothing wrong with the knife. It's got good quality, it's got good value, there's a lot of things going for it, but when I line it up against other neck knives that we reviewed here, it's not my favorite. And particularly if, say, I'm rocking the Tops Dart for the day, and I love this blade, you know, it's going to do all my heavy-duty chopping and batoning and, you know, my hard-use stuff, but I want a thinner, smaller, lighter neck knife that I can really wield and do my lighter bush tasks, you know, really fine notching and carving, and doing the feather sticks will be a little easier, things like that. And I have these 3 knives sitting in front of me that need to go out with my Dart for the day on a hike or a backpacking trip I'm doing. The Wolf Pup is going to be the last of these 3 that I pick. I'm either going to pick the Shango or the SE Azula or a BK14 or a lot of other knives. I'm just going to pick them because they just have a higher likability for me than the Wolf Pup. The Wolf Pup will be last on the list. So I'm giving it a likability of 3 out of 5. Again, nothing wrong with this knife. There's a lot of things going for it with the value and quality, but it just doesn't really connect with me on a level like the other knives that you see in front of you in the neck knife format do. And a lot of that has to do not only with the handle just being a little bit different, but also with that kind of box up here, that thumb ramp box. Well, it wasn't necessarily a huge hindrance to using the knife, but it's just something you have to work around that you don't have to work around with a knife of more natural design without a thumb ramp and that kind of big box right there with the holes in it. These 2 knives are a lot easier to, you know, place your thumb wherever the heck you want, and, you know, be able to do any type of cutting and notching and, you know, bushcraft tasks you may want to do. You got to work around that box on the Wolf Pup. So my likability rating, 3 out of 5 on the Tops Wolf Pup.
Well guys, thanks so much for watching this particular episode of Gideon's Tactical. I really hope that the ins and outs that you've seen on the Tops Wolf Pup and the different ratings that you've seen will really help you make a wise purchasing decision on whether or not the Tops Wolf Pup might be the right knife for you if you're looking for a neck knife, or if there might be some other options that will just connect with you better. So I really hope that this video has helped you make a wise purchasing decision. Thank you so much for watching this particular episode of Gideon's Tactical. Please subscribe, comment, like the videos, share the videos, and check out our Facebook page. You can find it on the YouTube homepage of Gideon's Tactical. Like our Facebook page, where you'll get updates of upcoming videos, you'll get photos, as well as upcoming gear, new gear releases, you know, that products and companies that are released, as well as behind the scenes footage and bloopers that you'll never see make it to YouTube. So thanks so much for watching, everyone. Stay equipped, stay prepared. We'll see you out there.